Welcome, traveler. Tonight, we journey through the world of the Elder Scrolls Thur, Morrowind, a meditative exploration of Vardenfell's rich history, from the rise of the Tribunal to the prophecy of the Nerevarine. We'll uncover the deep spiritual significance of the Dunmer culture, the hidden meanings behind their customs, and the complex web of prophecy that shapes the fate of Morrowind. Perfect for drifting off while learning about one of gaming's most unique worlds. Let us begin. The dawn of Resdain, ancient Chimera and Dwemer civilizations. Soft, measured voice. In the depths of time, long before the Empire or even the First Era, there existed a land that would one day be known as Morrowind. In those ancient days, it bore the name Resdain, a realm of towering mushrooms, ash-swept plains, and crystalline waters that reflected the twin moons above. Two peoples dwelled in this mystical land, each following vastly different paths toward divinity and understanding. The Chimera, ancestors of the modern Dunmer, were led by the prophet Veloth across vast distances from the Somerset Isles. They sought a new beginning, guided by the teachings of the Daedric princes, particularly Boethia, Mephala, and Azura. Gentle pause. Meanwhile, beneath the surface of Resdain, another civilization flourished in great underground cities of brass and stone. The Dwemer, whom many would later call the Dwarves, were masters of science and engineering, creating marvels that would perplex scholars for millennia to come. Their steam-powered automata still wander ancient halls, and their cities remain as silent testimonies to their mysterious existence. These two peoples lived in an uneasy peace, though their philosophies could not have been more different. The Chimera revered their Daedric princes and embraced change and challenge, while the Dwemer rejected the very notion of divine beings, seeking instead to create their own god through science and reason. Soft, contemplative tone. In the scattered ruins and ancient texts, we can still glimpse the grandeur of these civilizations. The Dwemer crafted impossible machines in cities like Bamzamshend and Arkenthand, while the Chimera built their ancestral tombs and shrine cities, many of which would later become the foundation for the great houses of Morrowind. Time flowed like ash in the wind, and the peace between these peoples grew ever more fragile. The Dwemer's ambitions would eventually lead them to an act that would forever change the fate of Resdain, the discovery and use of the heart of Lorkhan, found deep beneath Red Mountain. Whispered almost reverently, but that is a tale for another time. For now, let us rest in these ancient memories, in the echoes of brass cities and the whispers of ancestral wisdom. Close your eyes and imagine the golden-masked Dwemer tending their machines, while Chimera priests conduct their ceremonies under stars that have long since faded into mourning. Gentle trailing off. The Battle of Red Mountain and the birth of the Tribunal. Soft, measured tone throughout. In the shadows of history, beneath the ashen skies of what would become Vardenfell, a momentous conflict was brewing. The Battle of Red Mountain would forever alter the fate of the Dunmer people, though its true events remain shrouded in mystery and contradiction. Deep within their strongholds, the Dwemer had discovered the heart of Lorkhan, an artifact of immense power. Chief tonal architect Kagranak sought to harness this divine essence to transcend mortality itself. The Chimera, led by Lord Indoril Nerevar, saw this endeavor as a grave threat to all of Nirn. As whispered in ancient texts, Nerevar first attempted to negotiate with King Dumak of the Dwemer. Their once strong friendship dissolved into bitter words, and the drums of war began their somber echo across the land. The Chimera and Dwemer, who had once shared these lands in an uneasy peace, now turned their weapons upon each other. Gentle pause. The battle itself unfolded beneath Red Mountain's looming shadow, while armies clashed on the volcanic slopes. Nerevar and his most trusted advisors, Vivek, Almalexia, and Sotha Sil, made their way into the heart chamber. There, in that moment of destiny, something profound and terrible occurred. The entire Dwemer race vanished in an instant, leaving only their silent cities and machines behind. In the aftermath, Lord Nerevar was mortally wounded. As he lay dying, he made his closest friends and advisors swear an oath never to use Kagranak's tools on the heart of Lorcan. Yet, after his passing, the three advisors, who would become known as the Tribunal, broke this sacred promise. Soft, contemplative tone. Using the tools upon the heart, Vivek, Almalexia, and Sotha Sil transformed themselves into living gods. Their skin turned to gold, and divine power coursed through their veins. They renamed themselves Alam Sivi, and a new age dawned for their people. The Chimera were transformed as well, their golden skin turning to ash grey, their eyes becoming the color of fire. Thus were born the Dunmer, the dark elves of Morrowind. The Tribunal would rule for thousands of years, bringing both prosperity and burden to their people. But the price of their divinity, the breaking of that ancient oath, would echo through the centuries like a distant thunder, waiting to return with devastating consequence. Gentle trailing off. And so the Battle of Red Mountain passed into legend, its true nature forever. Living gods, understanding Almsivi and their divine power. Soft, measured tone throughout. In the warm candlelight of our continuing journey through Morrowind's mysteries, let us contemplate the divine beings known as Almsivi, the Tribunal Temple's three living gods. Their story whispers to us across the ages, carrying the gentle weight of both miracle and mortality. Almsivi, a sacred acronym formed from the names Almalexia, Sotha Sil, and Vivek. Each represents different aspects of Dunmer society, watching over their people like parents tending to sleeping children. Almalexia, Mother Morrowind, the healing mother, tends to her people with nurturing grace and fierce protection. Sotha Sil, the clockwork god, dwells in his clockwork city, weaving mysteries and knowledge into the fabric of reality. And Vivek, the warrior poet, dances between warrior and artist, male and female, good and evil, forever seeking perfect balance. Their divine power flows from the heart of Lorcan, that ancient artifact hidden beneath Red Mountain. Through Kagranak's tools, Keening, Sunder, and Wraithguard, they draw upon its infinite energy, maintaining their godhood through a delicate ritual that must be performed regularly, like the soft ticking of an eternal clock. Gentle pause. The Tribunal's reign brought unprecedented prosperity to Morrowind. Under their guidance, the Dunmer people flourished in ways previously unimagined. Great houses rose from the ash, cities bloomed like flowers in the harsh landscape, and their culture evolved into something truly unique in all of Tamriel. The temple became the center of Dunmer life, its teachings weaving through every aspect of society, like golden threads in a tapestry. Yet even gods carry burdens. The power that sustains Almsivi is both blessing and curse. They must maintain their divinity through continuous connection to the heart, while protecting their people from those who would seek to claim this power for themselves. Like guardians of a precious dream, they watch, they protect, they guide. In the quieter moments of contemplation, one might wonder about the nature of their godhood. Are they truly divine, or simply mortals, blessed with extraordinary power? The answer like many things in Morrowind, lies somewhere in the subtle shades between truth and perception, reality and faith. Soft, contemplative tone. As we rest here in this moment of understanding, consider how the tribunal's presence touches every aspect of Dunmer life, from the grandest temple to the smallest prayer shrine in a family's home. Their divinity, whether gifted or taken, has shaped the destiny of an entire people. Like the gentle Dagoth Ur's awakening, the Blight and Sixth House cult. Soft, measured voice. Deep beneath Red Mountain, in chambers untouched by time, Dagoth Ur stirred from his ancient slumber. Once a trusted friend to Lord Nerevar, he had waited through long centuries, his consciousness spreading like whispered dreams through the ashlands of Vardenfell. The blight began as something subtle, gentle ash storms carrying tinges of corruption that few noticed at first. These crimson clouds would drift down from Red Mountain, bringing with them spores that would slowly transform both the land and its inhabitants. Like a lullaby of decay, it whispered promises of change to all it touched. Gentle pause. The sixth house, House Dagoth, had been thought lost to history. Yet in the darkness of night, in quiet corners and shadowed dreams, its influence began to spread once more. Sleepers would wake with strange thoughts, whispering of a new age to come. In distant fishing villages and beneath the great canton towers of Vivec City, cultists gathered in candlelit chambers, drawing others into their embrace with promises of transformation and enlightenment. Dagoth Ur's power manifested in curious ways, through the dreams of the innocent, through the corruption of the land itself, and through the sacred heart that beat beneath the mountain. The blight creatures, twisted forms of what were once natural beings, began to roam the ashlands, their very existence a soft nightmare made real. Thoughtful pause. In the halls of his citadel, Dagoth Ur crafted his grand design. The Akulakan, a second Numidium, grew slowly in the heart of the mountain. Built from brass and divine essence, it would be his instrument of awakening, of change, of unification. Like a patient gardener, he cultivated his influence, spreading roots through the dreams and fears of Morrowind's people. The ghost fence, that shimmering barrier of energy maintained by the tribunal's power, stood as the last defense against this creeping threat. Yet even this magnificent wall of light could not fully contain the whispered influences of the sixth house, as they seeped through in dreams and visions, calling to those who would listen. Soft, contemplative tone. And so the stage was set for a confrontation that had waited through centuries. The living gods of Morrowind, their power waning, faced a threat from within their own history. The blight continued its gentle spread across the land, while beneath the surface, Dagoth Ur waited, patient, eternal, dreaming of the moment when all would awaken to his truth. Voice fading to whisper. In the ash-filled wind, his message carried to the Nerevarine prophecy, Azura's curse, and destiny's path. Soft, calming voice. In the depths of time, when the tribunal betrayed Nerevar's trust, the Daedric prince Azura cast her judgment upon them. Her prophecy, whispered through centuries, spoke of Nerevar's return, the Nerevarine, who would restore balance to Morrowind and end the false god's reign. The prophecy flowed like gentle waters through generations of the Ashlander tribes, who kept its wisdom alive in their oral traditions. They spoke of one who would be born on a certain day to uncertain parents, who would bear the marks of the moon and star, and who would unite the great houses and Ashlander tribes under one banner. Gentle pause. This foretold hero would be immune to corporate disease, yet would retain its divine gifts. They would overcome Dagoth-Ur's temptations, where others had fallen. Most importantly, they would wear Nerevar's ring, moon and star, which would kill any other who dared to don it. The dissident priests, in their hidden sanctuaries, carefully preserved these writings, though the temple sought to destroy all traces of the prophecy. Like stars guiding travelers through the ash wastes, these keepers of ancient knowledge maintained the truth of the Nerevarine's coming. Soft, atmospheric pause. When at last a prisoner arrived in Vardenfell, carried by the Emperor's decree, few could have known they witnessed prophecy in motion. Through dreams and visions, Azura guided this chosen one along the path of trials. Each step forward revealed more of their destiny, from humble outlander to the foretold Nerevarine. The prophecy spoke of 7 trials: to be born on a certain day to uncertain parents, to survive Corpus, to unite the tribes, to drive out the outlanders, to defeat the Sixth House, to honor ancient spirits, and to defy false gods. Like dewdrops gathering before dawn, each trial brought the prophecy closer to fulfillment. Gentle whisper. In the end, Azura's patience would be rewarded. The false gods would fall, their power waning as their mortal hearts failed them. Dagoth-Ur would meet his fate beneath Red Mountain, and Morrowind would change forever as the sun sets on one age and rises on another. The Nerevarine prophecy reminds us that destiny moves like the gentle ash storms across the land, slowly, inevitably, reshaping all it touches. In its fulfillment, we find both ending and beginning, twilight and dawn, forever turning, like the eternal dance of Massa and Secunda in Nirn's night sky. Fade. And so concludes our journey through the Elder Scrolls Thur, Morrowind. May these stories bring you peaceful dreams. Until next time.